I've never seen Apollo take so much punishment. Put it down!
Well, goddamn it, man! I don't know what to do. I mean, at this point, you gotta have fun with it, right? I mean, I saw that, and I was like, I couldn't resist. I could not resist. What a terrible Sunday. What's up, everybody? Appreciate it. You guys might be in mourning. I mean, we're all in mourning. It's definitely tough. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. But I knew you'd get a laugh out of it.
I didn't expect that, Mike. So I got something for you. You're gonna like it, and you got me. You got me with my mouth open.
I mean, what do you do? So it is just, Kelly's on Wednesdays. He's not on Monday. Jimmy and I are on Monday. It's our show.
We're Monday,
but Kelly will be on Wednesday. More importantly, we got our Cowboys Cave tailgate party after the debacle at AT&T. My man Cuts called me up. He said, "Tag." He said, "We cannot wait any longer. We cannot miss this tailgate because we got to right the wrong. We got to right the ship. We got to get balance back into force." So your boy's getting that Learjet fueled up. I'll be there. Rest assured, everything is going to be all right. But, what an embarrassing game. And, it's like, it's funny because we talked about the Cardinal game last year, and it's like, could the Cowboys just kind of be looking over? But, the Saints, my God. I mean, I don't know if they're for real. I don't know if they're that bad. I don't know if they're that good. But, I mean, they're a wrecking machine, Jimmy.
They're a wrecking machine, and they're hungry. Hell yeah, they've been hungry since that playoff game last year. No, you know what? I tell you, we talked about it. Well, I jumped in for a couple minutes yesterday with you and Greg. And, look, they played Carolina week 1, the Saints. I expected you guys – I didn't expect that. I expect you guys to win. That being said, Derek Carr was efficient. He wasn't great. Kamara was just a machine.
He was unbelievable.
And what did they score? And this is just me. I'm just throwing out. So they scored 6 consecutive touchdowns on 6 consecutive drives. Is that accurate?
6 touchdowns. I'd never seen that before. I mean, it had shades of Washington Redskins, Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl. It had, you know what I mean? Yeah. It had it was just everything they did was right. And, the surprising thing for me, not they lost. I mean, I told everyone after week 1 is you don't get too high, don't get too low, especially early on in the season. I mean, the 49ers lost, the Ravens lost, the Lions lost, the Rams got annihilated by the Cardinals. And these are teams that, hey, these are good football teams. You think they're going to be in the playoffs. You expect things. So it's the NFL today. You can never take any team lightly. But the way the Dallas Cowboys lost is probably the more troubling part for me because they got pushed around. If there was plays I was watching on our defensive line that was 5 yards pushed off the ball. And that's not a good sign. Now, I saw overconfidence. I saw, see what happened, and again, it's one game. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to give up and I'm not throwing in the white towel, but it's like, Jesus, guys. I mean, where's the pride, Jimmy? It's the pride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Show a little pride. I got news for you. You're there next week. Kelly's there. Greg's going to be there. Cuts. I think Mark's. They're going to be showing some pride next week. They're usually taking care of their business when you're in town.
Yeah. No, I mean, they don't lose when I'm there. The only worry is Jimmy Dee is coming in. And Jimmy Dee is a known jinx. So if God forbid we lose, Jimmy, I don't want you coming near the car. I want you to go straight home because we might be cooking you in the pit. I mean, I could be thinking you're in Springfield.
I say this ain't no Springfield, man.
Because we got to get the bad mojo off. But a lot of people. It's funny. A lot of people. I went to a Cowboys Cowboys watch party in Tampa Bay chapter. Probably won't go back because we lost. Now I'm superstitious, so I get a little worried about that. And so, I saw it and I'm like, man, it's like, I don't get that. People think I get like I start throwing shit around. I don't. Maybe I'm getting older and a little bit more mature with this stuff, but it's a week 2. You know, we didn't. The Saints were having a goddamn parade outside. Did you see that, Jimmy?
Yeah,
they had
ridiculous.
A full-on parade with the marching band winning a week 2 game. Now that's the problem when you have the star in your helmet. You're every team's Super Bowl. I mean, it's like no other, and the Cowboys have to be ready for that. It's like what Eugene Lockhart said. I mean, in that clip we talk about it. Every team wants to come in here and they want to beat you. You're the for whatever reason, because everyone says the Cowboys aren't a good football team, and I don't want to talk about none about the Cowboys till the playoffs, but people still talk about them. People still it's the measuring stick, and the Cowboys have to match that intensity. That's the thing. When you're wearing that star, you're going to get every team's best game, and if you're not able to match that, what happened on Sunday, that's going to happen.
I agree. And PJ, what you need to do is grab your nephew and smack some sense into him.
Was he in the band? Was he playing one of the instruments, or was he just walking?
That ragtime shit that they play down. I'll tell you though. First of all, with the defense getting pushed around, the offense really didn't get a chance to click. There was zero rushing game. I mean and that was a concern. They tried to run the ball early, and it's like, why they have? I mean. That's the part, Jimmy. It's like, that's what worried me, right? The running game. And, you say what you want. And I know that, oh, God, Dak Prescott. God damn it. They scored one more time. 6 possessions, 6 touchdowns. That's 42 points in my Broward education. The Cowboys scored on 4 of their first 5 drives. Now, they got to finish those. But it was 28-13, 2 minutes left. Brooks is out there, and you know what? Enough. Go get Flournoy. Go get something. He stumbles over his own feet. It's a timing play. The ball's thrown. It's a pick, almost a pick 6, and the game changes just like that. But people got to step up in those games. I don't even worry about by the middle of third quarter, they had an 8-minute drive, Jimmy. It was over, and then you're taking chances. You're you're totally out of it. At that point, hey, Chuck, how you doing, man? So at that point, I was kind of surprised you guys still had starters in that deep into the game when it was gone. I think that's foolish. But
I think you're trying to get some momentum, right, Jay? You're just trying to get something to where you got something to build on, because it doesn't get easy for them. I mean, the Ravens, they're 0-2, but the Ravens are going to look at that game and it's like, you know what? Derrick Henry, get ready, my friend. Ice up, because you're going to get a workload against that defensive line, and we're going to see if we can knock them all over the place like the Saints did.
Well, it's what Greg said yesterday. You didn't want to see an 0-2 Baltimore team coming in next week. But then again, like you said, Cowboys got to show a little pride. I think. Look, I don't foresee that happening next week. Are the Saints for real? Did they just come in all hype because they blew out Carolina the week before? I don't know. I don't see this Saints team being this prolific all year.
How things. I'd rather be hot later than early, but hey, credit. It's like I tell you. I mean, give credit where credit is due. The Saints came in there and waxed our ass. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Yeah, I'm not one. I ain't making no excuses. It was a butt kicking, and I'm glad I wasn't there. Again, God is good to me, because I wasn't going to that game. The only reason I didn't go because it was a 12 o'clock game, and I even said it on the show Sunday. I was like, I don't like 12 o'clock games. Every time I've seen the Cowboys play 12 o'clock game to get they just play like shit. And I've seen it at home, seen it against the Broncos. It doesn't sit well. And, probably the most puzzling thing for me, Jimmy, is, Overshone had 11 tackles last week.
Yeah.
He played maybe 18 snaps. And I don't know if anyone in the chat has heard why. Was he hurt or was he nicked up? I mean, I didn't hear anything, but why was he not in the game more? I know he's smaller than Kendricks and Liufau, and maybe they were worried about the size of the offensive line, whatever it was, I don't know. But I mean, how is this guy not playing more? I don't know.
It didn't make sense, especially after last week's game. mean, he was with Eugene Lockhart hungry. He was hungry last week.
He was hungry player of the week, for God's sake. Yeah. They don't even get a play.
That's crazy. I don't understand that. Hey, Chuck, real quickly, you thought I was going to the game tonight. There ain't no way I'm going down to Philadelphia and risking my life in that dump stadium and those out of control, violent fans. I'm not going down there risking my life. I'll sit back on my couch after the Cowboys Cave podcast and watch it in the confines of my home.
I don't blame you, Jimmy. I wouldn't spend a nickel in that place, man. Falcons by 14. We got Uncle Cheech is going to be coming in, so we're gonna get to some predictions. Uncle Cheech is we got to talk to Uncle Cheech, Jimmy. I mean, I don't think we should wait. Should we? Because Uncle Cheech is costing me money. Cowboys are losing. Uncle Cheech is costing me money.
Wait a minute.
Something's got to give.
How's your cave fantasy football going this week?
Right now we're the cave fantasy football. I think you're beating my ass. Are you beating my ass?
I'm gonna win.
Or is it close?
Minus a disaster tonight, I'm gonna win.
Who do you got tonight?
Tonight I got Bijan. I got Younghoe Koo. I got Younghoe Koo, and I got the Falcons defense. And I told you we're gonna pick them off twice tonight. We're gonna get 2 turnovers off Hurts tonight.
Well, I hope you're right. Because we definitely I'll be wearing my Falcons gear tonight, man. I'll definitely be rooting for you.
Carl, I see you're trolling over here. It's like your 3rd or 4th comment about the Eagles. Go back to eating your bat salts or whatever you're doing. I don't want to hear that crap.
They don't eat bats. They eat horse shit. You ever see what happened after the? I love Carl, and I told him. I said, you know what? I said, you stop talking in that chat. I'll forget what you said, and I won't tell everybody you drink horse shit. But that's what they do. I mean, that's on record. I mean, I know Carl didn't do it. My man Carl ain't gonna do that. He's not stupid at those levels.
No,
some of those fans actually ate horse shit in the after the Super Bowl. I mean, that's. I don't know if that's dedication though. Is that dedication? I mean, why would you
maybe I don't know. Was it well done or rare? I don't know.
I don't know. But hey, we're gonna go into the week 2 review. We got a lot to cover in this hour because we got to get you ready for Monday Night Football. We definitely want to spend time on the game, but we got to bring in Uncle Cheech because Uncle Cheech, I'm rolling negative on this lock of the week, and Uncle Cheech better get his act together, or Carmanuch might be replacing him. So let's find Uncle Cheech. Where's my man Uncle Cheech? Where are you?
Buongiorno, Zio Cheech.
Uncle Cheech, I got, I'll start out good and say, I don't know what the hell's going on with you in these upsets, but it's kind of flipped. Like the locks are like not locks, but the upsets are hitting, and they're not only hitting, they're winning outright. And I on some of these locks between you and Carmanuch, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm all confused. I don't know what to do. What's the word?
About my Kansas City game, they didn't turn the ball over 3 times, but gave them 10, 13 points, 14.
Yeah.
Would have been over. I don't equate that when I handicap a game, turnovers. I expect both teams to play clean. They both played clean. Kansas City wins, covers easily. But that's part of the game.
Well, it's caught you so far. We're on a 2-game losing streak, Uncle Cheech. And Jimmy's not happy.
Don't worry about that. Yeah. A lot of games left.
Yeah, but Uncle Cheech, I don't know. What about at the end of the game? First, you got Chase taking a bad penalty when Cincinnati was on a drive down. They were going to score. And then what a horrible, in my opinion, pass interference call at the end of the game. I don't think that was PI. So you got screwed.
He hit him early.
On the same play, there was a hold, a blatant hold. Like where they had him like this. It should have.
Are you saying the referees are in their pocket?
I saw.
You know what you're saying?
20s and 100s flying out of their pockets. Couldn't believe it.
Oh well, let's talk about it.
All the so-called contenders went down yesterday.
A ton of contenders went down, or so-called paper champions right now. But we talked about it. The 49ers. I mean, who thinks the 49ers are going to get annihilated? Not annihilated, but they were down a lot. The score wasn't as close as the game. The score wasn't indicative of the beating that I think the Vikings gave them. And then you had the Lions and Bucks, and the Bucks did. And then the Ravens lose to the Raiders. and the Cardinals just absolutely annihilate the Rams. So, I mean, those are teams that you expect in the playoffs. So it's been a funky start to the season. Obviously, the Cowboys getting embarrassed. We don't need to dwell on that any further. But what is your thoughts of these upsets? Is that why maybe your upsets are hitting? I mean, Carmenucci, I think he had another upset win outright with Memphis going into Tallahassee and just beating Florida State like a drum. I mean, what the hell's going on?
He actually sent me in two upsets this week because he's on the streak. So he sent me two that we'll get into when you're ready. But I don't know. It's been crazy. I mean, I was most confident in the Ravens beating Las Vegas. I go in there and get beat. I mean, they're the better team on paper, but paper don't win the game.
Paper don't win the game, and now we got a desperate Ravens team going into a AT&T.
That's what you got to be concerned about. You got a team that's up against the wall now, a wounded animal.
But I think we are too. I mean, you got to think the Cowboys got to be pretty embarrassed, no? I mean, would you say that they're going to
I'd be embarrassed, get that kind of beating at home.
Yeah, I mean, they insulted my town. They insulted my fans. They insulted my authority. I mean, it's nothing but pure and simple.
I don't know where this team came from. I mean, they were making fun of them because they scored 40 against Carolina, who got rid of their quarterback today, or Benson.
Yeah.
That was Carolina. I never expected this when they came to Dallas. I never put up 40. Maybe they could have won a game, but I didn't expect them to put up 40 on you.
No, if they would have won a close one, it would have been like, all right, well, we work to do it, whatever. Because I said it. They got receivers. They had the running back. I said this is going to be a test to see if our run defense is back. Because the first week, I said they didn't have, Chubb wasn't in there. The other guy was okay, but that wasn't going to be the test. Well, Henry's, like I said earlier, Henry's iced. They're going to be icing him up and getting him ready to go because they're going to find out. And the way that defensive line got pushed around, I mean, Henry's a man, and that could not bode well for this team. So I think their backs are against the wall. They have got to come out swinging and show some pride, and I expect them to. I'll be very disappointed if they come out the way they did. Especially with me in the building. They haven't disappointed me in a long time.
You're going to be at the game, so
yeah. Now we got our Cowboys Cave tailgate party. And, hey, we're going to have a lot of drinks. So if we get our ass whooped, we'll be out back at the tailgate. We'll just be drinking our sorrows away.
And you better drink heavily if you start getting your ass beat.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. So,
who expected Kamara to go off like that, rushing and receiving? I mean, I got him on my fantasy. I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see you guys win. What the hell was that? Unexpected.
Kamara has, I'll say this. Even when we've beaten New Orleans, Kamara has always played very well against Dallas. Now, granted, our run defense typically hasn't been that good. Kamara, and this is a thing that I try and tell people. Like, they say, oh, well, Dalvin Cook or Zeke or all these guys are washed up. Kamara's the same age. They're all the same. I mean, he's the same age, but it's how you take care of your body and the style of running. Kamara is a slasher. He doesn't take a lot of hits. I mean, remember when Emmitt Smith played? The key to his longevity, he never got hit straight up. Very rarely. He never took those vicious hits, and that's what helped him prolong, his career. So, we'll see what happens.
Well, they're the surprise team so far of the year, no doubt about it.
Oh no, I mean, you looked at it. I jotted notes down, just getting a little of the preview too. Is you look at the 2-0 teams. The Saints are 2-0. Vikings are 2-0. Yeah. Buccaneers are 2-0. The Bills, who a lot of people thought were going to be in trouble, they're 2-0. Steelers, granted, Steelers probably had the easiest two games. They're 2-0. And then you got the Seahawks that are 2-0. So you've got some teams in there, and you say that because typically the law of averages is teams that start out 2-0 have a higher percentage of playoffs. Teams that start 0-2, the playoff odds go down. So that's kind of, it is what it is. But it's this is an important game for the Ravens, but it's a really important game for the Cowboys. And I heard, to answer your question, Thomas, it doesn't seem like it. Stephen Jones was on the radio today, and they brought up Cook. I think they need to do something. The running game is a concern. I just, they're going to have to try something else because they're just not able to run the ball. And they haven't really had the opportunity, the way some of these games have played out. So.
Yeah, but the running game, but we were talking when free agency opened up, was a concern, and they didn't address it.
Didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And look at all the young legs. Look at these guys that get drafted, like the Jalen Wrights and Allen up in New York, who's just a backup, but he's killing it. So I was at that game, Ultra. That was a nightmare. And that, thankfully I didn't have to relive it live. I had to relive it on just sitting at a bar. But anyway, it's, let's see what happens. But hey, let's get into it because I know Jimmy's, we got the game and we want to get into this Monday night game. And you have a Monday night pick. I want you to save it to the end. So don't give it away yet, Uncle Cheech. That's going to be our grand finale. Figure it out. But the first game, you got the Giants, who are the first team in history to score 3 touchdowns and not give up a touchdown and lose, going to the Browns, and you got the Browns giving up 7. What's thoughts?
Giants stink.
No, that's true.
No. I mean, I was going to make that my lock, and I gave it some thought. I'll stick with it. I like Cleveland giving the 7. I think the Giants, they look real bad. The coach probably feels his ass getting hot now.
Well, they asked him about his job security. He was not happy. Ended the press conference.
He was on down there flying after last year, and they hadn't shown any improvement. Let their top running back get away to a team in the same division.
No, I don't disagree. And I was an embarrassed. I mean, their kicker got hurt, which obviously didn't help. But I don't know why. I know the one guy missed one, but I just would have I don't know. It was some bad decisions. I'm not sure what they were doing.
They stink. So
yeah, no,
they stink. Cleveland.
They stink. So all right, going into the second one, you got the Patriots, they've been very putting up a fight. They've been street fighting. You got the Jets, who come off a win, give Rodgers his first win as technically it's his second one, but he got hurt on the first play, but his first win as the Jets starting quarterback. You got them giving 6.5 to the Patriots.
Well, they're home and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That's why I'm picking them. New England still out, but you got one of the top quarterbacks in the league. I know he's old, but and they're at home. They still got a good defense.
Yep.
I think they'll cover.
I like that one too. So far, I mean, I think we might get on the right track when we get to this lock of the week, because right now we're negative $10, and if we get any further, the contest is going to be over if we blow it.
Spend the money.
Look at you. Hey, we got a budget here. We got a budget. KC killed me too. Our upset of the week is Fresno State. Now, this is what I like. Uncle Cheech is digging in, down in the trenches a little bit, not going for the obvious ones, but you got Fresno State. You got a home team in New Mexico. Not that often you see a home team, 14 points they're getting at home in these colleges. So, I mean, what's your thoughts behind this?
Well, that's probably how bad they are. I'll take the 14 in that heat. I know Fresno State's in California, but it's got to be 150 in New Mexico.
Well, they're northern. Yeah.
So it's a shot. 14.
Now,
14, I mean, 14 at home.
That's a lot for a home team. I know it's New Mexico, but we'll see what happens. And then we get into Carmenuch. Carmenuch has been on fire. 2 straight wins. One outright, the other one covered. So he's got the upset special. He gives it 2 for Tuesday, even though it's Monday. And he's got California. Now, I want to get your opinion on this one, because you're not that crazy about cross-country flights. You got California getting 2 going to Florida State.
I don't. Carmenuch does.
Well, do we trust Carmenuch?
Whoa.
You never want to second guess him, huh? What do you think, Jimmy?
Oh, I'm not second guessing him. He's on the street.
Yeah.
Look, FSU is terrible. I know what happened to the team. They got beat by his old team last week. And Utah, they got a respectable team. So does Oklahoma State.
Oh, you got Utah getting 3 at Oklahoma State. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Utah's got a good team. They were picked to win their conference.
You feel strong enough to do a 2-team parlay on the upset specials?
What's that?
a 2-team parlay on the upset specials?
We don't bet too much.
I just kidding.
I wouldn't bet too much.
Cheech green lighting a parlay. I can't believe it.
Yeah, man.
I
But
mean,
he's on a hot streak.
If you're going to bet big money, don't play parlay.
No.
I had, matter of fact, the Whale called me up. I don't know how many game parlay he played. I hit all 4. I said, well, got 5-thing parlay. This one rushing for 200. Everything I told him not to do. I hit all 4. I said, but you didn't hit the 5th one, did you? So you lost. Bottom line.
That's
simple. But Uncle Cheech, Kareem Weed said you cost him $6,000. You just cost him $6,000
for that lock.
Yeah.
He wants to know what you're going to do about it.
I'll have a talk with the coach. You watch, speaking of, did you see Tulsa King?
No, don't tell me I haven't watched it yet.
No, new season started. So
I know. I'm going to try and watch it tomorrow. Jimmy, I mean, what do you say? I mean, you speak for Uncle Cheech when you know they're trusting him, you know, to give the right pick. I mean, what are you going to tell Kareem?
What am I going to tell? What?
What would you tell Kareem?
But Uncle Cheech?
He trusted Uncle Cheech. What would you say?
You got me.
No, hey, you effed up. You trusted him. Get the best of the situation. I
tried to avoid the F word on
well, you could say effed up. I even said trusted. I said it like 2 or 3 times to get you.
Got 15 games left, Kareem.
Make the best of it.
15.
No, it'd be good. All right. Here's the lock of the week. You guys know how it goes. Doug, unfortunately, you lost last week. Thomas, you lost. The only guy in the running is my man Moose. So type in lock in the comments. Here's the lock of the week. This is going to hurt probably Kareem. I think Kareem might be there's a guy on here who's a Broncos fan, but you got the Broncos traveling to Tampa Bay. Tampa coming off a big win in Detroit. You're not afraid of a letdown. You got Tampa giving 7 against the Broncos. Type in lock if you guys want to be entered.
Rookie quarterback. That's it. I'm really not hot on Tampa all the time, but what's his name's playing good, Mayfield, and Denver's got that rookie quarterback. So I'll take the Bucs. Defense is playing well too. They beat a good team on the road.
No, I mean. That was
I'll tell you though, Tampa, they tried to give that game away yesterday. I wish they would have.
That was
cuts.
What happened in the game? Because I was watching the Cowboys get their ass whooped. What happened in the game where Dan Campbell took the blame? Did you guys see what happened? Was some sort of clock management, or he did something before halftime? Did you guys catch what happened?
No, I didn't see it.
No, I was watching your game too.
I give you credit. Well, I went to the Cowboy, fan bar. I mean, it looked like a ghost town by the third quarter. I was the only one sitting in there. I had a bucket of beer. I had to at least finish it. You know what I'm saying?
I really needed to finish.
The thing I'll say is I sit through the misery. I sat till the end of the game, and I suffered through it. But hey, real quick, one last time, the lock of the week. I got everyone so far. Anyone else who wants to be entered, all you got to do is type lock in the comments, and then I will run the numbers, and we will pick a winner. So
you're running numbers. Yeah, he's running numbers. I don't believe this.
I apologize. So, all right, going once, going twice.
So we got
all right.
What?
So let me do some numbers. Let me do the numbers here. I'm going to randomly 4, 5, 6. All right. So
we got 7.
Uncle Cheech, give me a number between 1 and 7.
6.
All right, number 6. Doug, you got. Make sure no one thinks I'm cheating. Doug, you got an opportunity again. You are in the running. Lucky Doug. If Uncle Cheech does you wrong, 2 bad things happen. You lost, and the contest is now over because I'm out of money. So hopefully Uncle Cheech gets his act together and gets us a victory. So,
well, I did want to look at PJ had something earlier. I want to wait for Uncle Cheech to come on. He wants to know how to donate for Lock of the Week, just in case things don't go our way.
Oh no, we don't want to do that.
I mean,
we donate to the Cowboys Cape Tailgate Party if you're going. That's where you want to donate. That's where you get. But hey, I got confidence in Uncle Cheech. We're winning this one. We are getting back on track, and I see a run. I see a Cowboy-like run. I see a run here. We're going to put some string of wins together.
They don't run. Hope the run ain't like you guys did yesterday.
Kill them to death inside of 2
quarters.
What
are you going to do? We're going to figure it out. But yeah. Anyway, Uncle Cheech, as always, great to have you on.
Monday night game, you forgot.
Oh, I apologize. Look at me. Wait a minute. We have Carl in here, the Eagle fan.
Yeah.
I was hoping I didn't have to do this, but we got the Monday night. Jimmy doesn't know what it is, so I'm not even going to put it up yet until give us a little talk, and then when you hear getting ready to give your decision, I'm going to put it in there. Give us a 1-minute breakdown of the game. What do you think's what to look for, and then I'm going to announce what it is.
What's that?
The game. Give us your handicap of the game, and then give us
handicap. Then I'll take. You know who I'm going to take.
Why are you going to take that? How's this game going to break down?
I don't like the way Atlanta played. Philly's at home.
Oh.
But I got to say this: all the big dogs went down this week, so I wouldn't bet any money on this.
I can't. My heart is broken, Uncle Cheech.
No, me too.
I wouldn't bet money on this because the Eagles could go down too.
Yeah.
I'm just making an objective pick. Home team. I'm not saying anything, but Atlanta didn't play well last week. You'll admit it.
No, they didn't.
Their backs are against the wall too. I mean, and you look at like the Ravens too. Like look at some of the Ravens games in next year. That's what I say. Some of these teams, they've got to win. I mean, their backs are against the wall. I think Atlanta, seeing the way the Saints are playing, Atlanta's got to get it together. They could fall way behind. The Buccaneers are 2-0.
Wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles lose. The upsets you had this week so far.
But it's like we talked about. If we're going to take our lumps, I'd rather take them earlier in the season than get on a roll late, hit the playoffs. That's my concern. I want to kick the Eagles' ass tonight, take care of our business in Philly.
I still say you'll make the playoffs. I just think you're going to win this game. That's all.
You guys just beat me to it, by the way. I was just about to PJ Thompson. We break the news here.
Well, that was our segue. We kind of lost it. That was kind of our segue. Is the injuries piling up? And there's been a lot of injuries. Obviously, Debo.
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, it makes it. Debo's out multiple weeks. I think you just broke what it is. Pacheco, broken fibula. He's out 6+ weeks. Cooper Kupp could go on IR with an ankle injury. That would make him out 4+ weeks.
And they got no
Tua, obviously, the injury to Tua, you don't know what's going to happen there.
There's a lot for you.
What?
Dolphins traveling to Seattle. No quarterback.
And Seattle's
real loud stadium. No quarterback. Let's be realistic. Skyler, whatever the hell his name is.
Oh, he's terrible. Yeah.
Hey, and look at Geno's.
There's a lock for you. Mark that down. Dolphins minus what the hell is it? 3.5 or something like that.
Is that all it is?
Something like that.
That asshole brought up Karloff.
You got to check. But traveling from one corner of the country to the other with a shit quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care who you got. Somebody's got to throw them the ball.
No, absolutely.
They're the fastest team in the world, but if they can't throw them the ball, you can mark that down. Lock number 2.
But Uncle Cheech, and I said Geno Smith looking good, and the Seattle's 2-0, and he's playing well.
No.
So it's a recipe for disaster for Miami.
It could be it. So
they're talking to Miami about Brady now. I don't know.
That ain't gonna happen.
Any truth to it?
No.
But
I don't go with that Brady shit.
They took somebody off the
they picked
Baltimore's practice squad.
Yeah, they pick anybody. I mean, there's nothing.
Ain't gonna help them.
No.
Dolphins get killed this week.
No. Now I throw it out because I threw it on X a couple mornings ago. Why wouldn't the Dolphins trade for Trey Lance? What do they have to lose?
Well, the funny thing with Trey Lance is him and McDonald was in San Francisco. So he was there when Trey Lance was drafted. He's got, obviously he scouted him and probably checked him out, whatever, before they draft, whatever the case may be. He's got some history with him. So there was a thought. And I know the joke was, go get right, for Trey Lance. I would do that in a heartbeat if they would do it. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think Tua is going to retire. I think he's going to end up playing.
No, he'll come back.
He's going to come back.
Guys, they don't know when to quit.
Yeah.
They're athletes until you end up talking like who's that boxer? What is
Muhammad Ali?
Andrew Holyfield.
Yeah.
Crazy Cabbage.
Yeah. No.
I don't even know what state he's in anymore.
No. So
he's not in a state of mind, that's for sure.
No, they need to be careful. They need to be careful with him. But all right, Uncle Cheech, we got the lock of the week. Doug is riding with you again. Hopefully, we get it right. And
you gotta be patient.
All right. Well, I can't be. I only got so much patience. So, Uncle Cheech, we will see you if not Wednesday. We don't have a show this weekend because I'll be at ATT, but we will be live. So I might, maybe throw you in there or something like that when we do a live.
Well, I'm going to be at the Hurricane game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes. And I'm disappointed I won't be able to be there, but you guys better win. So
whales flying up. We're going to make a big deal out of it. Big day. Big day.
Nothing but the best. I love it. So.
Oh yeah, nothing but the best.
All right, Uncle Cheech, we'll see you. We'll see you next week.
Grazie, mille. Grazie.
Take care.
Have a good.
All right. Well, I mean, we kind of got into some of it, Jimmy, with the with a recap, and we got Uncle Cheech did a little long show with us. He talked a little bit about some of these surprises, some of these upsets, some of these, what's going on. Obviously, the injuries, I mean, they always play a part. It's going to be interesting, especially, Pacheco is very important to that Kansas City offense.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But, we've got some time. We've beaten the Cowboys up enough. We don't want to beat them up anymore. So maybe we beat up the Eagles. I don't know. Yeah. But let's talk about this game. I saw a lot of stuff going into the chat. I know, talking about the defense of Philly, the linebacker matchup. Against Pitts, could this be a game Pitts explodes? Bijan, the Eagles look like they had a tough time stopping a run. Again, That was, last, in week one. So now you've got Bijan, you've got Pitts, but then you've got Kirk Cousins, who primetime games, for some weird reason, he just plays not his best, for lack of a better word. So what do you think of your chances? And you guys, how did the Falcons go into Philly, a tough place to play, and win the game?
Hey, I'm sorry. Like I said, our defense, in my opinion, is a home run. On the other side, you got Jalen Hurts. It's been a turnover machine. I said, I'm thinking the over-under, I think we're getting 2+ turnovers tonight from Jalen Hurts, whether it be fumble or interception. So I think we're going to get our share of turnovers. Like you said, you know what? Let Cousins pull off what a Derek Carr did yesterday. Just be efficient. Just, 12 of 15, 12 of 6, something simple. Get Bijan running, get Algier running. And like you said, get Pitts working on those linebackers. That, in my opinion, on paper, we should win this game. We should have won last week too, but I think we worked the kinks out. I think that I don't like making predictions because it's a jinx. I think we're going to win tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough. I'm pulling for you guys. Your defense is solid. Your defense played very well week one, so I think that bodes well. I'm curious to see how Barkley. How do you stop? Barkley. He had a big. He was pretty much the game. Is AJ Brown playing? Has that been confirmed?
No, he's out. He's out.
Is he 100% out?
He's out. Yeah, he went from question.
That's a huge loss.
He's downgraded yesterday. He went out. But look at our front four. We're solid. We're strong, and again, look what we did with Justin Fields last week. All right, we kept him in check, and in my opinion, he's more mobile than Jalen Hurts. So, and we kept him in check. We held him to 6 field goals last week, and our offense sucked. Yeah. Right. So, I just, 1 week to the next is different. I think we kind of seen that, we were talking about the Cowboys before, but I think we take care of our business tonight. Now, like I said, we were talking about dogs. Richie Grant, who's Simmons, he's strong safety behind Simmons, I think he comes up big tonight with a big pick tonight. Maybe a pick six. I'm hoping.
Yeah,
so.
And I mean the Eagles secondary has not been. I mean, they got the rookies in there. We'll see how they go. They had, they haven't been great. The safety. I mean, they've got some issues on their defense, and if they give, if Kirk Cousins can get the time, he can do that. I mean, Drake London's he's a big kid, big receiver.
Yes.
Pitts is just a mismatch for their linebacker. See, whoever the hell you want to put on him, he's going. If he's used right, I mean, he's a mismatch. But the X factor in this game is Bijan Robinson. I mean, they're finally starting to use him the way that they need to use him, but I think they need to use him even more. And I think he's one of those guys that could take over a game and, make life easier for Kurt, make things so, like you said, there's not all the pressure on his shoulders to lead the team and throw the ball 40, 50 times. You've got the crowd. And the one thing about Philly, if you guys get on them early, their fans will turn on them quick. They don't. Yeah. I mean, they got no tolerance for
zero patience. Play. No, but to your point about Bijan, he's a threat running, he's a threat receiving, and you mix in a little Algier, keep them on their toes, right? So that's what we need to do. Our Falcons offense have always had, when we've been good, we've always had, 2 running back. You got to mix in a little Algier, and like you said, release valve Bijan for Cousins, Pitts, Ray McLeod. Watch him running post in the middle. Watch him running up the middle. I told you, don't sleep on him. We were talking about this yesterday morning. Yeah. Ray McLeod's going to get his catches.
I like me some Ray. I mean, no doubt about it. I would ask you, who do you guys play next week?
Next week is Kansas City on Sunday night. We'll be watching it after the Cowboys take care of their business against Baltimore.
I dare to say this is like damn near must win. I mean, you're playing the Chiefs next week. You have got to. I mean, they got to know they got to play their best tonight, and I know
they need to,
but they got to play their best tonight. We got Doug taking the Falcons 34-20.
34-20.
34-20.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take 10-7. I just want to win.
What's going on? Who's got Barkley in the Cowboys Cave fantasy football? That's what I was wondering. What's going on with the fantasy football league?
And to your point, once we get past this stretch. Okay, I don't want to be 0-3. I'm not even saying I want to, but hypothetically, if things don't go the way they should, then we have a weak schedule moving past that.
I know you still got that. I got to put my readers on, guys, so I apologize. You got the Saints. You got to play still twice. You got the Bucks, who look like they're playing better. This is a big game for these Falcons to go up there and win. I mean, it is. You got the Chiefs at home next week.
We got the Chiefs at home next week on Sunday night without Pacheco, but still, it doesn't matter. The Chiefs somehow always find a way to win. They got the refs on their side each week, so what's going on there. But again, I just think the matchups are good for us tonight, and I think we take care of our business. I don't care.
Well, I'm worried about my fantasy team at Cowboys Cave, because I'm barely up anything. So you got 4 guys you have to play. I got 1, so I'm going to go to 0-2. That's not good. That's not good. And where's our defending champion in this whole
Better
thing?
you than me.
Where the hell is he? He is going to win again. He's going to be 2-0. I mean, what the hell are we doing here? Cuts and Doug and Jimmy, you guys, and Mikey. I mean, you guys are letting a guy run this league again. I'm going to have to throw everybody out. What is going on? Who are we betting? Do we have sides?
I don't know.
Betting is illegal. It's frowned upon. You got to go to the right apps if you go to Hard Rock if you want to bet. I mean, we can't have commerce going on in here. Illegal commerce going on in betting.
Not illegal
in our chat. You trying to get us thrown out? I mean, what the hell's going? What are they betting?
Commerce is good, but not illegal commerce. We can't have that.
And here's the thing. Let's just be real. And Carl, it's not. I'm not picking on you with it. Nobody knows Carl. I don't know Carl. I don't know who Carl is. I'm not betting because. Are you going to pay? How the hell are you going to pay me? I mean, never going to see you again. I mean, and I'm not picking on you, Carl. It could be Jamie. I'm seeing Steven. Cuts. I know Cuts is it. I know Cuts. I got no issues there. But I mean, what are we betting? I mean, who the hell? I mean, it's just. I mean, what are we going to bet, Jimmy? I mean, who's collecting? You know what I'm saying? I mean, who is? The only way that I would bet, if you guys want to bet, you do what I did when a man challenged me to a bet. I put my money in Cuts, and I said, you pay Cuts, and if Cuts tells me he's got the money right now, the bet's on. If not, it's over. I mean, you guys, everyone's quick to bet. All this stuff with the typewriter, and you got the keyboard shit. I mean, no one knows anybody, man. Come on, ain't no one betting.
No, you know what? It's funny because you need somebody to have like one of those trust accounts. You need somebody to hold. Right?
I mean, I'm not barred. I'll bet you $1,000. Where's your $1,000? Are you going to put the $1,000 in an account, or yeah? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Well, Creamer Wheat, he was talking about $6,000.
I know that man. That's saying I'm going to I'm going to an establishment that's got the backing. You know what I'm saying? So. But Cuts will hold the money. I mean, he's got no problem with it. He's a man of his word. He's a man of honor and integrity, and
he's a family man.
A lot of people don't know this, but he's the what do you call that? He's a CFO. He's the CFO of the Cowboys Cape. He's put together the tailgate party. He's holding all the funding, all the donations, he's got everything on control. He's going out to get the paper plates and the utensils and the napkins, and we're bringing the Dallas Cowboy koozies, and we got the little spinners and the little the little horns that you blow to get all that kind of stuff. So Cuts is handling all that stuff. He's a CFO of the Cowboys Cape.
The koozie, no koozie's gonna wet and I put on.
Where the hell are you gonna send beer? It costs more to ship beer. They go buy one and you go get some old Milwaukee or whatever the hell it is.
Chicano funding operator. I gotta ask you. We're talking about the tail. I do want to talk a little more football. You see, we talk about Chicago, and that's a place where young quarterbacks go to just get their asses kicked and die. Look what's going on up there with this poor kid right now, with Caleb Williams. Already. There's drama.
They want his head already? Is that what they're
doing? Yeah. They're doing terribly already. The poor kid's confidence is shot. Yeah,
but this is what happened. I mean, Bryce Young is now benched for Andy Dalton in Carolina.
Yep.
And, I ask you this, Jimmy, is what future do you have with Andy Dalton?
None. Right. Where are you going?
Where are you going? See, you're basically destroying this kid. It's over with Bryce. I mean, once you bench him, I mean, you could say you're trying to protect him or whatever it is. This is why you can't. This is why you don't you gotta give these kids a supporting structure. Now, Chicago does. I'm not comparing the two, but Carolina has no line. They got no receivers. They got no running back, and you draft this quarterback and you expect him to work miracles. I mean, that's why I say it's not, when you're drafting quarterbacks, it's more about the situation that they're in. They should have protected him. They shouldn't have started him last year. They should have drafted guys to help get in free agency, get some pieces around him to make it easier. Now, and I'm not saying he would have been good or not, but I mean, he was a top pick for a reason. He obviously had the talent level. Right. But they get into these situations like, what was that guy? David Carr, his brother, who got annihilated with the Texans. He was so shell-shocked. I mean, he never was the same.
No, and that's the thing, right? You can't expect a kid to go in there with nothing around him. And they did nothing. What did they do in free agency? I don't think they really did anything. So you're going to bet. And I think that they canned their coach at midway through last season, toward the end of last season.
Yeah, they got rid of. He's back in college.
Canning your coach, sitting a young quarterback. You're screwing and I don't care. They're in our division. I just feel badly for the kid. He busted his ass to get there, and they're not doing him any favors.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel bad, and now you see Caleb Williams. He's got talent, but Chicago just, I don't know what it is. I said it before, man. They just have a bad way with quarterbacks. I mean, it's always kind of like you don't know what's going on with these guys, and they played, their defense played Houston tough. I mean, Houston, they only get 16 points or something like that, or 17 points.
Yes.
I mean, they were competitive, but I mean, these guys are going to have some growing pains, and you either got to deal with it or you sit them. And look at Jordan Love. Jordan Love, a lot of people wrote him off and said he was going to be a bust because he didn't start. Obviously, he was sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, and then he came in one game. He didn't play well. They're ready to write him off, but then he kind of sat for a couple of years, and now he gets in a situation where the game is a little bit slower for him. You have some weapons around him. I mean, he's in a situation. He played very well last season. That last half of the year got better and better. Next thing you know, he's collecting a check for $58 million or 57, whatever he ended up getting, you know, a year. You gotta treat these quarterbacks, man. You gotta be careful with their psyche. It's mental, right?
Quarterbacks, pitchers in baseball, goaltenders in hockey, they're all head cases. And like you said, you got to kind of, I don't want to say coddle, but you kind of got to, you know, they play mental games with themselves. And that's part of the thing. And you know, first of all, any quarterback going to Chicago is getting mushed, right? We all know that. Yeah. And, but, you know, speaking of Champy posed this earlier, the Cardinals, did you see that show yesterday that they put on?
I mean, the thing I'd say, Kyler Murray is sneaky. He's small, but he's a pain in the ass. And Marvin Harrison Jr., you got a taste of Marvin Harrison Jr. That's another team that they're going to be they could be a pain in the ass for somebody. You know what I mean?
They could, yes.
They're not going to be a Super Bowl team, but they're gonna create nightmares for some teams down the stretch in the NFC.
And think about it. They were up 17-0 on Buffalo last week, Arizona. You know, shit happens. They're on the road. They end up losing the game. But, you know, that's a confidence builder. I mean, that's no joke, right? Yeah. That game was over inside of a quarter and a half.
No, I lived that one. I saw that in a similar situation.
Yeah.
No.
Right. Well, we won't we're not talking about that right now. But and then you go back. Now let's look at Green Bay. So they go in and win yesterday with Malik Willis.
They steal a win. That's stealing a win. When you have your backup quarterback who's not any good, who they just signed, and you just stole a win against the Colts, who, I mean, they're not a terrible team, but they're not a good team. But, you know, that's a great win for the Packers.
That's right. Richardson played terribly. Jacobs went off rushing, and that's all that mattered. They got the W. Yeah, Steve, I am sweating. You know why? Because I'm down here in the basement, right? It's still, you know, as autumn keeps going, it cools off down here. But I got all the lights on me. I'm wearing a toque when it's 75 degrees in here, so obviously I'm sweating. But I am hyped for the game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting pumped up. But yeah, I mean, so like you said, you steal a game, kind of like when you had Cooper Rush playing a couple seasons ago. You guys took 4 out of 5 games with him. That's huge.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You win half your games. If Green Bay wins half their games with a quarter with Malik Willis, that's a home run for them. That's a steal.
Oh, no, make no mistake about it. Absolutely. And I would say cuts, you know, I would check on the tables. I thought we had 1 or 2 that I bought like the last time. I would get with Mark. And then I know Steven offered, and I could touch base with him. He lives in Dallas now. And, you know, he said, he's got his truck, and he said he might have some stuff, if anything, we need for setup. So I'll get with you on that, unless you got a table that you already have. But we can look at that. And then I know we got some coolers. We got, you know, stuff that we bought last year. I got the Cowboys tent. We've got some tables. I think I bought a couple of like little cowboy tables for people if they wanted to sit down and eat and stuff. So yeah, Cuts, we probably need to give me a holler and at some point so we can touch base and make sure.
Cuts. So. Yeah, Cuts. We'll see. I got my beanie. We call it toque. I got my toque on. Let's see if I'm wearing it when it's 97 degrees this Sunday down in Dallas. I don't know if you guys will see my gray hair. You know, it's glory. Right.
Well, and one other we talked about on too, my man Claudio. Thankfully for Claudio, is a Hurricane fan, so he's you know, he's alum with me. So I mean, you know, we're loving the Canes, and you know, so thankfully that's our saving grace right now. But I mean, talk about in trouble. I mean, they got Skyler, like Uncle Cheech talked about his lock of the week. He said he should have picked that game. I mean, this Dolphin team, a lot of high expectations, a lot of high hope. I mean, they eke by Jacksonville. They get annihilated by Buffalo at home. I know what that feels like, so I feel your pain, Claudio. But now you're without your quarterback, and you don't know when he's coming back. Could it be in a week? Could it be in 2 weeks? You just don't know I mean, and that hit, you know, we talked about it. It wasn't a big hit. No. And he got knocked out. I mean, he was knocked out. And that's scary that, you know, that minor of a hit did that to you. That just leads to believe that it's not going to get much better for you.
No, it's like Chris Tucker and Friday. You just got knocked out.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt badly. And not for nothing. I know that DeMar Hamlin, look, he was involved in the play. It wasn't nefarious.
No, he was actually he held up. So I mean, it's not like he even hit him. It's like Tua just ran into his, his chest with his head.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What I didn't like was after the game, and I know DeMar Hamlin was hyped because he came back and everything that happened with his health season ago. He goes on X after the game and says, I'm balling again. And he's got a video of himself. I think based on what happened with Tua and knowing what Tua's got going on and has had a history of concussions, that was just bad timing for DeMar Hamlin to put that on social media like that. I think that was low class.
Yeah. I don't think he, I know he seems like a good, and I give kudos. I mean, we give the Bills a lot of crap, but those fans, I mean, they donated like over $16,000 to Tua's charity. Yes. I guess that's something they do for the opposing team if a guy gets hurt or something like that. They're, as much as the Bills fans drive me nuts. I mean, that's pretty damn.
And I always goof on.
We got wings and drumsticks. We got other steak. We got other stuff on the grill. I mean, what do we got going on here? What's going? What am I missing?
Beer.
We got food.
Alcohol. Hey, wait. So, are we going out Saturday? Like, are we going to figure this out Saturday? Are we
well, Saturday. Saturday's a little tricky, and I've tried to, explain to these guys. We want to get your predictions at the end too. We're gonna do a quick run around with all you guys hanging with us before the game gets going because Jimmy's got to watch the game. But I'll be real quick. There's gonna be a ton of food and drink Saturday. If we do something Saturday night, and more than likely we're gonna end up at Texas Live only because it's close. So we've got to figure out how we're gonna coordinate. Because people got to sit out. Like, we're going to have to sit out. There's no reason for everybody to have to sit out and hold the spot. So maybe what we do is, we do it in groups of 3, sit out there, and we just kind of rotate every 2 hours. That way, if you did 2 hours, you can go back. If we did like 4 groups or something like that, then other people could sleep, right? I mean, you want to get some sleep.
Yeah.
So we just got to figure out how we do it. We'll get close. As we get closer, we'll get it figured out. And Bugsy, yep, definitely I'll be in touch and appreciate. But that's a priority because here's the thing that people got to understand. All of us are flying in. I mean, Cuts is driving from San Antonio. If we don't get a spot, we're pretty much, I don't know where we're having a tailgate. And there's not that many spots. Now, you could say, hey, Mike, maybe the Cowboys knew you were coming. They did you a solid, got their ass whooped. That way no one shows up. I don't know if that's the case. Maybe that was their thinking. If it is, I appreciate it, but you didn't have to do that because we're going to stay out all night to make sure that we get a spot. So that's the top priority is to make sure that we get a spot. So I'm not really sure if there's going to be a lot of partying on Saturday. If there's partying, it may just be on the sidewalk like a bunch of vagrants. So I'm not sure. We're still up in the air, but that doesn't mean everyone has to sit there. Like I said, people coming in town, you want to have a good time. You know what I mean?
We can rotate and I don't know if that's Mark or Mr. Hand chime in aloha.
Oh, aloha, Mr. Han.
Did I do something wrong, Mr. Han?
I would say, where was the whole damn defense? And I agree, running back, I've been preaching it. I don't agree with tight end because Jake Ferguson, I think, is absolutely, I think. Well, he's saying we got a Pro Bowl. What? Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland was missing a Pro Bowl tight end. Yeah. All right. I had to read the whole thing. I can't see. The defense was terrible. The whole defense wasn't there. It's just one of those games. It's either going to be a defining moment of this team in one way or the other. It could be something where you look back and say, you know what, that was an ass beating the team needed. Or you're going to look back and say that was the ass beating that exposed the Cowboys for being frauds. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it. I have a pretty strong feeling that the Cowboy team that you're going to see on Sunday is going to be playing hard-nosed, going to be playing inspired, going to be playing tough. Is that enough to beat the Baltimore Ravens? I don't know. I mean, the run defense has me a little worried, and you're going up against one of the best running backs in the game and also a quarterback that loves to run. So they got their work cut out, and that's why you needed to win against New Orleans at home because I said the odds of them is probably splitting Baltimore and Cleveland. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
Mark, we appreciate the
I appreciate the super chats. I would think the coaches tell JJ we need a running back and defensive line help, offer suggestions. Zeke and 2 defensive tackles need help in depth or not serious upgrades. He's not going to listen. I mean, he did what he did. I think Zeke is fine in the role that we want him in. I think they should have drafted a running back. I think Dalvin Cook, I'd love to see what he's got. I mean, take away the season last year where it was kind of like a screwy season. He's averaging 4.5 plus yards last 4 years consistently. He's a slasher. He doesn't take a lot of hits, a lot of punishment. So I think he's got tread left on the tire. So I'd like to see what Dalvin Cook can do, but I mean, they better figure out this run defense. They better figure out quickly. I thought it was solved, but they got absolutely bullied and thrown around Sunday, and that's not a good sign. So. Yeah. All right, Jimmy. We're almost time, so let's do.
So real quickly, I think a little bit of housekeeping, just real quick, I know we'll probably talk later in the week on the podcast, but
no, you don't. Steven, you could buy a ticket wherever the hell you want and walk there. I don't prescribe in paying $200 and something for the ticket if you're just going to the tailgate. Look around, see where lot 10 is. There's parking all around there that is cheaper. So I would look and just park like a cash parking lot and walk over if you're coming over. That's what I would do. I don't really want to see anyone spending that kind of money on parking. So definitely don't park there unless you absolutely really want to. So.
No, and you know what? I think, like you said, we should have some fun Saturday night. We know Sunday's a long day, and do rotations, maybe 2, 3 at the most. Go hang out, keep our spot.
Yes,
in lot 10. It's stupid for everybody to go down there and hang out. We can rotate. Everybody have a little fun, and we'll keep the spot. And we'll take, we'll make sure we're good to go.
Yeah, no, and then we might get lucky. And somebody will. We gave a guy a couple 12 packs, and he held our spot for us, and he was a man of his word. And
honest
it was
man,
great. So that's great. I mean, the nice thing with the tailgate is kind of like everyone's a family. Like we all want to help each other out. We want to make it a great experience for everyone. So we're trying to get 2 spots. If we can sneak 3, then we'll do that. But we'll definitely figure it out. And I would say, Bugsy, if you're driving, you can park in line, and you kind of like hold your spot, and your car's there. So. I mean, there are options. Mark's, we're going to have 1 truck in line because that's holding a lot of our stuff. So that's kind of how you got to set it up. Whatever time we're going to be there at 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning, we're going to be there pretty much all day. Someone will be there. I think they let the cars in like 4 hours, maybe before kickoff, something like that. They'll announce it. So just make sure, you can come whenever you want. I mean, we'll be hanging out. So Cuts is going to have his car there about 3 or 4 in the morning. So it's a long night. So guys, we do it for you, and really we do it for the opportunity for us all to hang out. I mean, that's at the end of the day. There's nothing better than hanging out with Cowboys Nation and meeting everybody, putting the names with the faces and all that kind of stuff. And I haven't met Greg. I haven't met Greg face to face, so get an opportunity to meet Greg. And a lot of you guys in the chat, a lot of you guys, on Twitter and Instagram and all that have reached out. I love meeting Cowboy fans, and hopefully it'll be a great victory for us, right, Jim? And you get a victory tonight.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, so what do we got for the score? What kind of predictions do we have? Jimmy, do you want me to go first since it's your home team and this is your team?
Well, no, I'm going to say it like this. I'm not like what you call it? I don't talk about jinxes. I'm not superstitious. I don't need to wear the same. I'm not all about that, but I'm going to say I feel we're going to win. I'm not throwing a score out because I'll just leave it at that. I think we're going to take our W tonight.
All right. I think it's going to be a hard fought game, but I think, I think the Falcons are going to get it done. They got to get it done. You're seeing a trend with some of these teams. I think Falcons have a lot of talent. I think the Eagles I think there's some mismatches on that the Falcons can exploit. I think they got to weather the storm early. But I think the Falcons, I think it's like a 27-24 close victory for the Atlanta Falcons. What do you guys got?
So Chuck,
look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Chuck and I had the same exact score. Jeff and I are very close, 27-23. Anyone picked the Eagles? Anyone picking the Eagles?
Well, Carl left. He said
he left. Yeah, he's not watching the game.
The game will start for 9 minutes. We got. I mean, this is the real Monday Night Football lead, and you guys know that.
Yeah, you don't want to watch that. You don't watch that other garbage. But hey, Jimmy, I know you're getting prepped for the game, so we're gonna wrap this up. We hung out a little longer. Definitely appreciate everybody in the chat, and just understand. I know my Cowboy fans are in here. It was a rough day for us, but it's 1 week. It's like I said, there's going to be ups and downs in this season. And we're not going 17-0. A lot of you guys thought we'd go 11-6, 10-7, 12-5 again. We know whatever it is, 27-20. I like that, Vince. So just enjoy the ride. Be frustrated. You got to have confidence in this team. They'll get it right. So let's see what happens. It's going to be hard. I got to do that hype video. You guys, the Cowboys didn't make my life any easier, but we're going to get it done. I think it's going to drop on Friday. Learjet's coming. We got the crew coming in. Camel Piper will be there. Jimmy D's going to be there. Greg's going to be there. Kelly's going to be there. Shady's going to be there. Mark, Cuts, Doug, Bugsy. I mean, everyone.
I like that, Chuck.
Yeah, we ain't rooting for the Eagles, man. So we're going to get this thing rolling. So, again, I appreciate everyone, all the support. If you haven't, we didn't say it a lot. If you guys are just hanging with us and you're rolling out with us, stop for a second and hit that like button. Hit that like button. It'll do wonders for us. You guys on Twitter, come over to YouTube and hit that subscribe and like if you haven't already. You guys hanging on YouTube, stop for a second when we get done. Go back and like that video. And, hey, if you're on YouTube and there's other videos that you didn't hit that like button, go back and spend 5 minutes and like them all. I appreciate it. And then, again, in the upper corner, go to cowboyscave.com and download the Autograph app. There's a lot of things going on in there, a lot of stuff, a lot of giveaways. You can buy your tickets. They have Cowboy tickets. If you don't have your tickets yet for the game Sunday, they're starting at like $160, no fees. So you're getting it for exactly that. It's not, hey, it's $160 when you check out. It just costs you $300. So definitely look at the Autograph app. Go to cowboyscave.com and you can download it. I appreciate it, Jimmy. I'm rooting for you. I'm going to get my Dion Primetime Falcon jersey on. I'm gonna represent, and you're gonna get it done, man. We're gonna get it done for you tonight. So,
thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, you guys take care. Have a good one.
Give me somebody that's hungry. Give me somebody that's hungry. I need somebody.
It's not ending.